Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Modern Warfare in Depth. In today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the brand new crossbow that has been added to Modern Warfare. The crossbow is an incredibly fun weapon, and it seems to be designed as a utility device instead of as a real slaying machine. I really want to say that this one is one you're supposed to run with overkill as a sort of niche utility weapon. It isn't good in most situations, but it can be absolutely devastating in the right hands and with the right plans. I do want to give you a little caveat, a warning here at the beginning of the episode. I stayed up until 5 a.m. trying to get this guide going. It's super late where I'm at. I'm super tired. My spine is at its absolute limit, so I'm rushing a whole lot of things, and there is a chance that there are some mistakes in this episode, but I've tried really hard to get all of the information right, so let's just hope that it's all good today. You can unlock the crossbow for free by getting 5 Marksman Rifle kills in 25 different games. The way this works is you use a DMR, you get 5 kills, and then you can swap your weapons or just keep using it for the rest of the game, and after 25 games of using DMRs, you will unlock the crossbow. I do want to point out that this doesn't track right, and it takes a super long time. I have no idea how many hours today I tried to get that to work, but more importantly, the new patch can also reset your account. If you are prompted to reset, do not choose either option. It will come up and say, hey, there's an error, you need to reset to continue. If you choose to reset, you get reset. If you choose not to reset, you also get reset. If this comes up for you, just don't press any buttons. You just can't play Modern Warfare until the next patch, and I know that sucks, but that's breaks. I don't want you guys to lose your attachment and weapon progress. There are several things in the patch that were supposed to happen that kind of didn't. Player collision was supposed to be fixed. The Ram 7 was supposed to get some magazine size increases, and a few other fixes in the patch just didn't seem to go through for whatever reason. Maybe it's coming in the future, maybe it's in the game but not rolled out, I'm not sure why, but some of these just kind of didn't happen. Back on topic with the crossbow though. Unlocking the crossbow has some errors in and of itself. If you get 5 kills in a game and then immediately quit out of that game, you're going to get a 3-game penalty of none of these challenges tracking. So don't just get the 5 kills and quit. That will set you back for hours. I tried every single possible combination to skip ahead, and I did nothing but put myself further and further behind. So don't be me. Don't do that. Playing Shoot the Ship, which is Shoot House and Shipment, those are absolutely your friends. It's awesome when you get TDM or kill confirmed because it's short matches, and it just overall doesn't track well. There were a lot of matches where I played the whole time, I didn't quit, I got my kills, I did my thing, and it just didn't count. I don't know why it didn't count. I don't know why it didn't track. I know that Exclusive Ace had some problems with it. It was really, really frustrating pretty much all day, and it took hours upon hours just to unlock the crossbow. However, if you purchase the variant crossbow that's on sale, you can use it immediately. But there's a caveat to this, and I think this is a good thing because Infinity Ward wants to keep the game fair. You cannot customize the attachments on the crossbow if you unlock it with this method. You have to go and do the full DMR thing to unlock the base crossbow to be able to customize it. If you just spend the $12 and buy the variant, that's literally all you can use and nothing else, though your attachment unlocks will track. So let's talk about the actual stats. We've done like 4 or 5 minutes of other crazy stuff. Let's talk about the stats. It will get a 1-shot kill, or 1 arrow kill more accurately, to the head, neck, chest, and torso. Pretty much all of the upper body are 1-shot kill areas at close range, and interestingly, even at long range, it has the exact same 1-shot kill areas. I could not find a range at which the crossbow would not kill people in the head, neck, chest, and torso. As an example, this is a clip of me shooting it at a ridiculous distance, hitting True Marksman here is a subscriber of mine come in on Mixer to help me test in the chest, and it was over 100 meters, and it still maintains its range, which is just downright fantastic, and you'll never hit a person at that kind of range anyway. When you add stopping power to this weapon, it allows you to kill with limb shots as well, so arms, shoulders, hands, feet, legs, that kind of stuff, but it only applies for the next 3 bolts. You get 3 bolts of stopping power ammo. I guess they're golden bolts, they're adamantium bolts, I don't know, they do a lot of damage, but that's how that works. So stopping power is okay to run if you're missing a lot or if you're having a hard time, but generally I don't think it's worth it. It has 3 unique types of bolts as an attachment, 3 unique ammo choices, and each one of them will radically change how you play the game. The Thermite Bolts literally shoot thermite on the bolt, just kind of like you would shoot it out of the undermount weapon. The Thermite Bolts, however, deal less damage. These will only one-shot insta-kill to the head, but the burn will always kill somebody over time. What you'll end up doing with this is shooting somebody and then watching them burn or scooting away, and you'll end up trading a lot. You'll shoot somebody, they'll hose you, and then they'll burn to death a second later. You'll have to get headshots with this or shoot people that's weak, but it is incredibly effective, and it's more effective against kill streaks than anything else. 3 Thermite Bolts will take down a Harrier. This thing just cuts through streaks like butter. It's insane. It's super powerful, and you can use it to break through a lot of difficult stuff in this game, so to speak. You can also add Explosive Bolts. This is the first one that you'll unlock, and they have the same one-shot insta-kill areas as regular bolts. They're a little bit slower in velocity, and they wobble a little bit more, but you can still kill people in the head, neck, chest, torso, all that kind of good stuff. And after a few seconds after you've hit somebody, they will detonate, which is really cool. Obviously, if you shoot somebody anywhere, leg, arms, hands, whatever, and it blows up, they die. However, if you miss them, the lethal blast radius is about 1 meter. I recorded it here in King in private match just as a quick little test. It's a very short range kind of explosive, and it does take a second to detonate, so you're not going to get a lot of people with this, but you will get some, and you can spam it and you can throw it further than a grenade or a C4 or anything else. You can shoot it in weird angles and stick it to things. It's a really nice anti-personnel device. This is very effective against infantry, but it doesn't seem to hurt tanks very much in ground war. I spent some time in ground war shooting tanks with this, did not have a good time. Maybe I didn't shoot them enough, maybe I was supposed to weaken them up with something else, but I was not very happy with the results. And finally, I don't know why they put this in the game, but the Venom Bolts, you literally get that annoying poison gas grenade in a bolt, you shoot it and it will blow up in a puff of gas if you shoot the person in the body. If you miss them, if you hit the wall, if you hit the ground or vehicle or something like that, you will not get the puff of annoying gas. However, if you hit them in the body, it has the same base damage as the normal bolt, so you'll kill them, the gas will puff, and you will have a gigantic disruption for the enemy team to go through. However, I will tell you, if you use these, especially on Shoot House, you will literally go to hell. These things are for psychopaths only. A very horrible, evil, awful person came up with this idea, and I will hate you until the end of time. So I'm sure all of you will use it. It is really, really annoying and disruptive. Finally, few other little things before we get to our Astro skit and start talking about Aes Times. The XRK Thunder 200-pound arm attachment that's supposed to increase your bolt speed and velocity and even your damage range only does those first two, and it doesn't increase the damage range because the base one has infinite range as far as I'm able to tell. Yes, it'll increase the bolt speed, and yes, it'll make your bolt drop a little bit less because it's moving faster, but it actually does not change the damage range whatsoever unless I just don't know what I'm doing. I initially didn't like it because it slows down the weapon, but I ended up using it a lot because the base bolt speed can kind of be painful. It's a little bit on the slow side. It can be frustrating to use. So I ended up using that 200-pound arm so that I could continually shoot faster and have to lead less, and I found it quite nice.
Oh, hey buddy. Who's your good boy? Who's your good dog? Here's your goofy.
Hey operator, what do you want?
I was looking at these really nice Astro A40 headsets here. I mean, I heard that these are the
Those
best.
are $200.
$200?
Yeah, but I'll give it to you for 5% off if you use the link in the description below.
That's still a little price. What about the Ripper? I mean, the Ripper's pretty nice. You can stab.
That's 500.
Oh God. Night vision goggles.
1,000.
RW1.
100.
I guess that's a little better. What about McCree's gun?
50.
Still a little rich. What about decorative gloves?
$5. They're used.
I don't want sweaty gloves. Crossbow?
It's a new crossbow. It's a great deal.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I kill people with it?
Of course.
So I don't see the crossbow. Can I see it?
Let me see your money first.
All right, let's see what we got here. I got 10 Cayman Island dollars. Is that gonna work?
Maybe.
Okay, I got a bunch of loose change. Loose change.
That's not enough. Okay. Oh, God.
I have this is a boba drink stamp card with 5 of them, so you are halfway to a free drink.
Okay, take it. Here you go.
This? Are you serious?
Take it or leave it.
It's like a children's toy.
I give you free ammo.
And it shoots people, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Real
that's
good.
a deal. Give me the ammo.
There you go.
Hey, you know, this isn't so bad. It's got kind of a nice weight to it, nice sprint out time. Bolts could probably really mess somebody up. Thanks for selling me the gun, by the way.
Ah!
Oh, that's why you never sell the ammo. These headsets are mine. I'm taking these. And you know what? I'm taking these. And we are going to take the RW1 as well. Yeah. Now let's go kill some people for real. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little skit. I know my wife sure did. If you would like to purchase a pair of Astro headsets, there's a 5% off link down there in the description. I'd appreciate it if you did that. That is the best way to support my channel right now. You could at least click the link so that I look good. I've been using Astros for 10 years and they are fantastic. Now, near the end of the episode, let's talk about aim down sights times. The base aim down sights time on the Crossbow is 300 milliseconds. If you put that Thunder 200-pound arm on there, it goes up tremendously to 383 milliseconds. This is why I initially really hated that, but gotta deal with it sometimes. The Quill 100-pound arm is 250 milliseconds, so a little bit faster, and the Carbon Elite is 266. So not quite as fast as the Quill, but it's very close. It's well within that kind of frame rounding range. So if you're really worried about your, bolt velocity and stuff, you can go that way. But for pure speed, the Quill got me the best results. Tac Laser did not seem to have an effect at 300 milliseconds. The Speed Track stock was only 1 frame slower at 283, and again with rounding that might not even be significant. And the FTAC Speed Grip also did not have any effect on aim down sights time. So all these attachments, they're supposed to help your aim down sights times, at least individually, did nothing. But as you'll see in a little bit, they do things combined together. The Sniper Optics had 400 milliseconds of aim down sights time. You unlock a 4x one and then like a variable zoom one. They both had the same aim down sights time at 400 milliseconds, which is a little bit slower than base, but overall not too bad kind of for what you're getting out of it. When it comes to sprint out times, the base is 300 milliseconds. It matches the ADS. That's normal. Speed Grip, while it didn't help your ADS, the Speed Grip definitely helped your sprint out time by a colossal amount. It was now 233. So if you're going to play on a small map, that is an absolutely essential attachment. That one is super. That's one of the strongest sprint out modifiers in the entire game. And a question you all want to know is, well, what's the minimum ADS time? Like, how fast can I really make this gun? That's 200 milliseconds. It's really not the biggest decrease. It's about 30% off, 33 if you want to look at it that way. And you have to stack a whole ton of attachments to get this. But I do know that people are going to run it that way, especially on like Shoot House and Shoot the Ship and Shipment and stuff like that. The reload speed is your rate of fire. You cannot, there's no multi-shooting, there's anything, you can't shoot until you've fully reloaded the weapon, and it's really slow. Like when I reload this weapon, sometimes it'd be like, boy. So we got a springy thingy here, and I got nope, that didn't work. No. God. What am I doing? Oh, I got it. That is not how that's supposed to go. Oh. Okay. Hold on. We're gonna figure this out. We got, don't worry, I know there's people shooting at me, but we're gonna get it. I think, do this first. Put it in through the top. Looking good. Oh, I missed. Oh, crap. All right, time to do it again. Yeah, it's not pretty. It's very frustrating. I think that's the most frustrating thing about this weapon, much more so even than the fact that your bolts have travel time, or that it can be slow, or that it can be annoying, or whatever, but just that you shoot once and then you're out of the fight for a very, very long time, which is why I believe it's made for utility more than it is for killing people. Sleight of hand is an absolute must for the crossbow, but your reload times are still going to be painful. Every single slow, boring reload you've seen right now has been 100% with sleight of hand because I've never not had it on the weapon, and it's still really, really slow. So be careful after you shoot your first and probably only shot before the enemy hoses you. You're going to need to be behind cover and be willing to reposition or able to reposition very, very quickly. When it came to testing out the various string attachments, I could not tell a difference. Maybe I was getting very tired at this point, maybe I didn't know what was going on, but I could not tell a significant difference with those string attachments. The iron sights are very interesting. It's very interesting that the foresight that you're supposed to line up your shot with dangles down from the top, so you can't actually let it go below, but it won't obstruct your target, but like you can't, it's awkward. However, it is big, it's clean enough, I can see the targets well, it'll work just fine for 6v6. For small maps, I have no issue with the optics. However, for anything else, ground war, if I really want to try to snipe people, I'm going to need some better sights. As a heads up, I do want to let you guys know the bolt travels slower than you think, and it drops more than you think. A lot of weapons in this game, well, every weapon in this game is a projectile now, so they all have some travel speed, and, you know, like in ground war, whatever, you lead your shots just a little bit. This weapon really reminds me more of using weapons in Battlefield. You will truly need to lead your shots, and you will need to compensate for the drop in almost every engagement range. Maybe like not truly like point blank, but even relatively close, the bolt can move slow enough for your enemies to slip out of the way, so please keep that in mind. There is a lot of skill involved in using the crossbow, or mastering the crossbow. Anybody can use it, but it takes a long time to get a feel for this weapon. I believe that in my rush in depth and my struggles here, I have barely scratched the surface of what the crossbow has to offer, and this weapon, I like to think about it as requiring the 3 Ps: patience, planning, and precision. You can't rush with the crossbow, you can't go balls out, you can't challenge people and peek them, you need to be smart. You also need to have a plan, not only a plan for your gunfight and what you're going to do next and how you're going to bait somebody, but you need to know if you're using thermite, poison, explosives, or just basic darts for whatever you want to do with this weapon. And precision, that's basically me saying get good. You have to have skill, you have to have expertise in this, you have to hit your shots, or it is completely worthless because you're not going to get a follow-up shot. In my opinion, this is supposed to be a utility or disruption kind of weapon that you run with overkill, very rarely by itself. And if you run with the crossbow, you benefit your team most by essentially playing support, as if we were playing Overwatch or League of Legends or whatever. This is a support type weapon, believe it or not, because your bolt choice greatly influences what you're going to do with it. Obviously, the normal bolt, you use it kind of like a sniper, kind of like a DMR, whatever, great. If you're running the explosive rounds, you are an anti-infantry machine. You are an area of denial monster. Now, do keep in mind the trophy systems will shoot those down, but you want to spam those objective points, you want to hammer those choke points, and you want to blow up infantry like crazy. If you're running the thermite, what you're primarily doing is anti-streak, anti-vehicle, anything that moves, anything that you need to burn down and blow up, any mechanical thing. It can work on infantry, you know, because it will get the guaranteed one shot, but it's not nearly as effective as the explosive rounds. And if you're running the poison bolts, the Venom Bolts, I should say, that's just purely for disruption. Your goal is to catch 2 or 3 enemies side by side, shoot one, blow up into a whole bunch of smoke and gas, and while they're doing that, your teammates run in and kill them, and you have effectively played as a fantastic support. The only 2 attachments that are truly essential for this weapon are the 200-pound arms, so you can just shoot your bolts faster and you have to travel, you have to kind of lead your shots less. I found it very, very useful. I used it on everything. And the fast grip to really just shred that sprint out time so that you can hipfire when people get in your faces. It works okay for hipfire, to be honest with you. These 2 I run on every single class, but everything else is optional. And I would also be wary of any attachment that slows bolt speeds down. I know there's quite a few of those that'll say slower bolt, and like a lot of guns in this game it says slower muzzle velocity. You can kind of ignore that. I would be reluctant to do that. The slow bolts they make me angry. They make me tilty, for those of you that have seen the stream. I like my bolts fast. I like my hit scans to hit. I don't like leading my shots a whole lot. Guys, that is all for this episode of In Depth. I hope that you have enjoyed it. I hope that you have learned something useful. If you have, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. And hopefully at 5 a.m. I haven't totally cocked this up. Drifter out. Okay.
Should have filmed Booby over here. Hi, Booby.
Hello. Hey, buddy, everything's okay. We're just having fun, bro.
Hi, buddy. It's okay. I'm fine.
You're so stupid, Boomy.
No,
I pet you with the gun. Okay.